Namaste, everyone. Thank you for joining this Blissful Flow practice. I have started a chakra series. This week is all about the second chakra. Allison was just in touch with me before I came here, and she was talking about some of the clearing that she was doing last night. And she said with the clearing that she was cultivating and the visions that came to her, one of the visions was that the divine feminine is really getting stronger in the Middle East, and that she was sensing the females, the women, are going to really create the strong bond. So I don't know what that means, but she says, I hope you're talking about the divine feminine today. And I'm like, actually, kind of, sort of, not really. When you look at the second chakra, we often consider the dormant energy at the base of the spine, Shakti Kundalini, and that Shakti Kundalini is part of the divine feminine. So when we're waking up those creative juices, that creative life force inside, that does kind of go back to the divine feminine aspect. The divine masculine is considered more in the upper tiers of the chakras. And the heart is the place of the marriage where the two come together to integrate. So anyway, what I wanted to mention about the second chakra today is that it governs our emotional identity, our sexual identity, our sensitivity, how well we're able to adapt and go with the flow of things, how well we're able to embrace change. And when we are excessive or deficient energetically, it can create imbalances, which results in issues, psychological stuff like bipolar disorder. It can take us into, well, for men, they can become impotent. For women, we can develop ovarian cysts. You know, so there's lots of different things that can happen physically, mentally, and emotionally if we're out of balance in this field. So we're going to work on cultivating and awakening some of this energy here and striking a harmonious balance with some of this energy through the intention of our practice. We're going to begin in child's pose today. If you want to make it restorative with the bolster, you certainly can by separating your knees, bringing the bolster in between, and pouring down upon it. If you decide to use a bolster, you're going to separate your arms wide apart so that your shoulders can broaden and soften. If you choose to just be solo in your pose, then just lay over your lap, and the arms can either extend in front of you or be wrapped alongside you. Whichever position you take, close and rest your eyes. And you might notice pretty immediately that there's heat coming in through the feet as we develop this light stretch in the ankles. Check in to make sure you don't have too much sensitivity in your knees. If that's the case, I would put a blanket in between your thighs and calves. The second chakra teaches us how to move, how to change, how to feel, and how to yield. So occasionally in our practice today, we're going to yield and we're going to take pause in some of our poses so that we can really feel what is happening at a deep internal level. I may or may not have mentioned on Monday that this chakra is called Svadhisthana. And Svadhisthana means one's own seat, one's own abode, or dwelling within oneself. So the second chakra is also teaching us how to sit and to be with ourselves, how to sit and to be with our deepest thoughts and emotions. Set that as part of your intention for today's practice. If you have been resting on one cheek, go ahead and lift the face, turn to reside on the other, so that you're balancing the stretch of the neck. If you're resting on your third eye, remain there. Feel how we're hinging over from the hips, the sacral region, the lower belly, the hips, the reproductive organs are all a part of the second chakra. Take some deep breaths in and out through the nose, and as you're breathing well and deep, see if you can send that movement all the way down into the lower half of your abdomen. Feeling the belly swell on the in-breath and relax on the out-breath. Meet and greet yourself exactly as you are right now. And continue to befriend your breath to bring a state of intimacy into the practice. Breaking down that word intimacy to mean into me, I see. Take 3 more breaths. Your next inhalation, let's go ahead and press the palms down into the mat and slowly begin to lift up. Just enough to draw the knees closer together, to extend the arms out and to slide or walk the hands over to the right. Creating a side stretch, opening up the side waist, opening up the sides of your chest. Breathing into the left lung. On your next inhalation, gently lift the head, walk the hands across your mat to the other side, and then pour back down. Accentuating the stretch on the right side body and breathing more specifically into the right lung. Remembering where extension goes, energy flows. On your next in-breath, lift the face up, walk your hands back to center, rock up to hands and knees, and as you exhale, curl your toes under and launch into downward facing dog. When you come into Adho Mukha Svanasana, power down from the palms, stretch out through your fingers. Take some of the weight out of your wrist and place it more into the mound of the hands. Lift up and down of the wrist, up and down of the elbows, up and down of the shoulders, up and down of the ribs, up and down of the sacral area. Applying some weight through the feet so your legs are more active. One last deep breath. And then slowly begin to travel the feet forward. Feel free to bring that strap with you along the way. We're going to pour down into Uttanasana, or really you can do dangling pose, which allows the knees to have a soft bend. Feel free to rock your head from side to side, nodding it yes or no, or combined blend. Emphasizing the exhalations, magnetizing the heart a little lower. the energy erupt in the backside of the body. On your next inhalation, keep that strap handy, bend the knees deeply, scoop the belly in, let the arms hang, and roll it up one vertebra at a time. And when you arrive to stand, you're gonna unroll your strap, fold it in half, and then hold it shoulder distance apart. Look down at your feet, spread out your toes, lodge the feet down into the floor, and then extend the arms up overhead. We're gonna bring the strap just behind the neck, and you're gonna press the strap towards the wall behind you. So we're gonna start this practice off with a standing backward bend. At first, just getting some of the tension out of the trapezius zone. Now begin to rock your weight forward towards your toes, send your thighs and hips forward, lift up out of your floating ribs, and keep pressing the strap behind you as you slowly straighten out the arms. Lean the head back, open up the heart and throat. Emphasize your inhalations. The strap always makes this pose feel so much better to my low back. So I hope you're feeling a difference as well. Inhale, come all the way back up to the top. And then as you exhale, take the strap and set it onto the side. We're going to use that again a little bit later. But for now, join your palms together to Anjali Mudra. As you inhale, sweep the arms to your sides and up. Start to lift and lengthen back. Feel the difference between doing it solo versus with the strap. And then exhale, palms together. Draw that navel in and gently begin to bow over. Release your hands apart. Send them down alongside your feet. Affirming as you hold, nothing and no one on this earth can hold me down or back. I am willing to embrace change. On your next inhalation, step your left foot back. And when your left foot steps back, go ahead and descend your back knee, shin, and foot. We're gonna find that strap again. We're gonna bring the arms up overhead. But I want you to make sure that you're not just sagging your hips at the same time. So plug the right foot down into the floor, draw up through the pelvic floor, lift the arms straight up. And then as you exhale, bend the arms, bring it just behind the head. Now begin to reach that strap towards the wall behind you. Slowly begin to lift through your floating ribs. Start to casually lean your head back as you begin to straighten the arms up towards the ceiling. And now see if you can surrender and melt the hips downward. Hold and breathe. Anchor your back shin in the top of your foot. Gaze up towards one of the ceiling panels. Find your stability for your foundation and then draw the energy up from there. Exhale, gently begin to lower the arms. Send that strap to the side. Curl the back toes under, and we're stepping into downward facing dog. When you arrive to downward facing dog, remember to start at your foundation first. And then start to move up from there through the scaffolding of the legs, through the angle of the arms. Have everything pointed up into your sits bones. Open up the underside of your belly. When the tailbone starts to curl under here, then the lower half of the belly gets cut off. I mean, not literally cut off, metaphorically speaking. We want that energy to be abundant here. The sea of chi is considered the area 2 inches above the sternum to a couple inches below the navel. On your next exhalation, go ahead and come down to knees. Bring it forward and down, chest, chin, Ashtanga Pranam. Hover and hold if possible. And then on your next inhale, untuck the toes, push your heart through and up to Bhujangasana, Cobra Snake. Legs lengthen back, feet stay glued to the floor. Heart opens up, ride the wave of your breath. So the second foundation, or second chakra, is actually the foundation of this pose. More of the pubic bone area. Good, inhale, curl your toes, come all the way back, downward facing dog. Now, when we're coming from cobra to downward facing dog today, feel free to express yourself by coming into tabletop to down dog, coming up to plank and then to down dog, or you can undulate back like a wave. That freedom of expression is part of the second chakra. Now on your next inhalation, let's go ahead and step the right foot all the way forward and up between the hands. When the right foot comes all the way forward and up between the hands, lunge that front knee, stack it and line it over the ankle, and then sink the back knee, shin, and foot down. When you're ready, take a hold of that strap again. Lift it up overhead. Power down through the right foot, draw up through the pelvic floor, and then bend the arms just behind the back of the head. Reach the arms behind you, slowly puff open through the cavity of the chest, lean the head back, straighten up and out through the arms, and then see if your low back allows for that sweet surrender. See if you can start to sink the hips a little lower. One more deep breath. Exhale, bring the strap down, bring the hands down, curl the back toes under, step it to the top of the mat, lift up halfway on arrival, and exhale, lower back in. Smooth out your breath. Inhale all the way up to the top. Arch it back when you come up. Exhale, palms together and humbly bow straight through the middle. Inhale this time, we're going to step the right foot back. We're going to sink the back knee, shin, and foot. Same position, grab the strap. Push down through the sole of the left foot, anchor down with your back shin, lift the arms up overhead, bring it just behind the neck, reach that strap towards the person behind you or towards the wall behind you, slowly begin to arch, and then drop through the hips if that doesn't create any pain or strain. Find your stability, find your breath. Inhale, come on up. Lower the strap down, plant the palms down, curl the back toes under. We're launching into downward facing dog. When we re-arrive to downward facing dog, let the head hang between the arms. Always notice where you're feeling the energy percolating or dispersing. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, descend to knees, chest, chin, Ashtanga Pranam. Inhale, slither through Bhujangasana, Cobra Snake. Shoulders roll back from the ears. Legs lengthen down your mat. Back is getting stronger. Curl your toes under. When you're ready, Go ahead and pour back to downward facing dog. Aligning your feet hip distance apart and your hands shoulder distance apart. Dial your hands slightly away from each other. That will help to grip your hands, create more solidarity here. On your next inhale, bring the left foot again to the top of the mat. Sink the back knee, shin and foot. Take a hold of your strap. Round that foot, bring yourself up. Exhale, bend the arms. When you're ready, start to lengthen the arms up and back, up and back, up and back. So we're opening up the range of motion in both the shoulders and the hips. Those are the two areas of the body that are meant to be more mobile. I'm going to try to help to free them up. Go ahead and come back. Lower the strap, plant the hands, curl the back toes, step it through to Ardha Uttanasana, and then pour back over and down. On your next inhalation, root down to rise all the way up. Arch it back. Exhale, come back over, hinging from your hips, returning to Uttanasana. On your next in breath, go ahead and step your right foot back. Sink the back knee, shin and foot. Inhale, coming up. Anjaneyasana. Take your left hand to your left hip and swerve to your left. Try to stabilize the front knee. Inhale, bring both arms skyward. Exhale, right hand to the hip or waist. And this time curve over to the right. Inhale, bring both arms back up. Exhale, the right hand's gonna come down, catch the back thigh, and then we're gonna arch it back in. See where you have freedom and try to enjoy it and have some fun. Second chakra is about freedom, fluidity, and fun. Bring the hands down to frame the front foot. Curl the back toes under. Step it into downward facing dog. When you re-arrive to downward facing dog, just allow the energy to pour down to the face, to the brow, to the crown. Affirming as you hold, calmness is beginning to radiate within each and every fiber of my being. On your next exhalation, drop to knees, chest, chin, Ashtanga Pranam. Inhale, slither through on the belly to Bhujangasana. Hold and breathe. Second chakra being the pelvis and the pubic bone here. Curl the toes when you're ready. Let's take it back to downward facing dog. Reset your feet. Reset your alignment here and breathe. Next inhalation, step your right foot forward and up between the hands. Go ahead and set your back knee, shin, and foot to the ground. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Coming up to this half lunge. Right hand to the hip or waist, swerve that same direction. You have to really push down through the mound of the big toe of the front foot to stabilize the knee. Inhale, both arms reach up. Exhale, left hand comes down and curve to that side. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, bring the left arm down, catch your back thigh, blossom the heart towards the heavens. On your next out breath, bring the hands down to frame the front foot, curl the back toes under, step it through again, Ardha Uttanasana, and exhale, fold. So we're sticking with the C Surya Namaskara today to work a little bit more into this second energy center. Next in-breath, come all the way up. Take a back bend. Exhale, hands to heart, and fold. On your next inhalation, step your left foot back. Sink the back knee, chin and foot to the floor. Inhale the arms, come back to Untitled. And this time we're taking the hands to the prayer position and twisting the spine to the right. Now try to keep your navel lifting up over the front thigh bone, best you can, dialing the heart more towards the thumbs, pressing the knee equally into the arm. Now, if you want to amp it up, you're welcome to curl the back toes and lift the back knee. Yogi's choice. In this way, you have the freedom again of expression. Creating the pose you desire. Good, exhale, unwind. Bring the hands down, curl the back toes under, step into downward facing dog. Take a moment just to notice what's occurring in the left hip. Maybe feeling some of that energy drain out. Next exhalation, drop to knees, chest, chin, Ashtanga Pranam. Remember, you have to shift your weight forward to bring the face beyond the fingertips. And then inhale, come through and up. Bhujangasana, legs stay firm, glutes stay tight. Exhaling, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. On the next in-breath, this time we're bringing the left foot to step through between the hands, sinking the back knee, shin and foot down. Inhaling, Anjaneyasana. Hands to prayer, rotate left. Rediscover your breath as if it were for the first time today. Align with it. There used to be a guru, famous yoga teacher that used to say, when you align with your breath, the breath will naturally align your postures. If you wanted to amp it up, this is your moment. All right, we're going to unwind from that. Bring the hands down, curl the back toes under, step it through. And exhale, pour down. Now we're just doing one more Surya Namaskara, but we're going to add in a mixture of poses. So inhale, come back to the top. Open your heart. And exhale, Uttanasana. The next time you breathe in, we're going to step the left foot back first. And when you step that left foot back, go ahead and spill down to your back knee, shin, and foot. All right. We're going to keep the left knee on the floor, and the right knee is going to hover right beside it. As we inhale, we lift the right knee out and up. And as we exhale, we're gonna lower and hover it. Do that 4 more times. This will help to strengthen the hip. Feel free to look off to your right as you breathe in. Feel free to change your gaze down as you breathe out. Or you can just keep your gaze down if it's distracting to turn your head. The next time you lift the knee up, start to trace large circles here. And bring that knee down. All right, when you bring that knee down, curl the back toes under, lift back to downward facing dog. This time we're gonna extend the right leg side. We're staying on the right side. Lift the right leg. Take downward scorpion at the top. Exhale, unroll from that and bring your shin just behind your hands. Well, we're gonna start to lower down towards pigeon. So go ahead and walk it out. Take your time. You're going to have an opportunity to steepen this pose for a little bit. The lessons to move, to change, to feel, and to yield. Looking for freedom, fluidity, and fun. So if you have really strong sensations that are occurring right now in your right hip, probably storing something that you've been stressed or emotional about, whether that's in your forefront of your consciousness or not. So each breath is helping to break some of this up, to wash it out in a way. Hold it 3 more breaths. Slowly begin to rise up. When we come up, we're going to do more of an upward pigeon. So this is not everyone's favorite. Everybody likes this one that we just did. But if you walk your hands in and if you press down through your knees and shins, it's going to, instead of, you know how the scissors are legs apart, it's like we're closing the scissors. So we're contracting the inner thighs, lifting through the pelvic floor with the root lock, lifting through the navel center with the belly lock, and then see if you have the freedom to lift your arms up. This is really gonna open up the iliopsoas muscle which has a deep emotional connection to it. All right, bringing the hands down. Curl the back toes under, step it back out of Uttanasana. All right, if you want that vinyasa piece for this sun's out, exhale, sink to knees, chest, chin, Ashtanga Pranam. Inhale, slide through on the belly, lift and open the chest. Keep breathing. Exhale, roll it back, downward facing dog, and we'll create that sequence now to the left. So on your inhalation, left foot's gonna step to the front, sink the back knee and chin down to the floor. Okay, we started off here on the previous side, and I wanna do it the exact same. When you're ready, take the left knee back, let it hover alongside your right knee, and when you're ready, lift it up to the left side of your body. And then exhale, lower and hover. Continue with the set, determining if you want to turn the head or not. Coordinate movement with breath, more impactful that way. And then circling the knee. And then descending it back to the floor. Good, curl the toes, launch into downward facing dog. From down dog, we'll stay on the left side. We'll lift the left leg, take downward scorpion at the top. Unroll the hips, bring the shin just behind the hands. And we'll take the luxurious pigeon first. So we'll walk the forearms out. Perhaps lowering down to the brow. So this aspect of letting go is all related to the second chakra. Are we capable of letting go? Are we capable of knowing we're not always in control? Are we capable of surrendering and trusting? Bringing in an affirmation. I attract good people into my life who support my healthy boundaries. Inhale it slowly start to come up. We'll walk the hands in close to the hips. So if this strains your low back, you can just lean forward and say prop on the hands. Don't feel like you have to force this to happen. But if possible, come to the fingertips, push down into the areas that are actually touching the floor and draw the inner thighs and the pelvic floor up, the navel up, maybe the arms and fingertips. Upward pigeon. Exhale, let the arms go. All right, curl the back toes under. When you're ready, take Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog, and feel and allow that to drain. Feel it draining from the hips down through your legs and exiting out through your feet. Then when you're ready, come on down to tabletop position. So I just remembered this pose that we're going to be doing, you may want a blanket. It looks like most of you have one. If your knees are not sensitive with the wood floor, then you don't have to worry about it. This is a pose cross that becomes a balancing position. And it's something that I only do once or twice a year. Okay, so let's bring the left foot forward first. And then try to stay with my instruction. So once you bring the left knee forward, the back toes are going to tuck under because we're going to inchworm the right leg back. Toes, knee, toes, knee, toes, knee. Okay, just little tiny little steps. Now, the idea is to get the knee back behind your ankle on the front leg. So there's no longer the precision of alignment. Then we bring the hands down. You can heel-toe the left foot slightly over to bring the hands to the inside. Now you may need to stay here, and that's perfectly acceptable. You might be able to buckle the arms and hang out here. If you can drop to forearms, bless you, do that. Was that you?
Yeah.
I wasn't looking. I just heard it. Okay, now to go into the full pose, and this may be plenty, but to go into the full cross pose, you hook your left arm under your left thigh. You lean towards the outer edge of the left foot so that the right hand can lift and cross it behind the back. And then you're trying to balance and breathe. I'm shaky in this today. When you need to unthread the arms, do it. Come back onto your palms. And then when you're ready, inchworm forward with your right knee and toes. Usually about 3 baby steps is plenty. And then bring the left knee back to join the right. Good. Step your right foot through. Ready for that second side. Curl the back toes. Knee back, toes back, knee back, toes back. See, I've only actually done this once this year. It was Easter, because it was cross pose and I was doing a special workshop. I find it easier to keep the back toes curled on the back foot, because that would give you a little gripping for your balance. Bring the right hand over, and you can separate the right foot a little bit. Determine on this side, do I need to stay on straight arms? Can I buckle the arms? Can I sink to the elbows? See what's possible. And then wrap the right arm under. Lean slightly to the right so the left hand can float up and maybe hook to the other hand. Cross. Inchworm forward. Cautious. Right knee back. And we're going to take a seat. Ooh, our hips are getting a workout today. Let the floodgates open in this area. One foot in front of the other. Your hands are gonna stack on top of your knees. And we're gonna do a Kriya. But before we go into this Kriya, sometimes I'll mention, different ways of doing it. So sometimes we do kind of flat, straight back, a little bit more rigid. Sometimes we create barrel rolls, a little cat-cow. And sometimes I'll say get expressive. So I want you to be more expressive today. I want you to go into that third way of doing it so it feels a little bit more sensual. So close the eyes and start to lean over your lap. Bring some movement into your shoulders, into your neck. As you wind yourself around and around. And feel free to go at any pace. So I feel like going slower today personally, but some days I feel like going fast. Your body guide you. Trust your intuition. Never steers us wrong. Come back up to the top. Pause, notice that energy spiraling in one direction. Let's take a twist to the right. Maintaining the twist. Channeling the breath up and down the spine, up and down between the chakra centers. Seeing that prism of color like a rainbow. Red at the base, purple at the top. Exhale. We'll swap the footing. Now the other foot's in front. And then we'll take it the other direction. Keep the spine extended. Exhale, twist to your left. Ready, unwind from the twist. So let's go ahead and hold up the back. And what I'll show you really quick is we're going to come and be in the restorative bridge, but we're going to float one leg up. We'll circle the leg down and around and inhale to the top. But start with both feet on the floor, the block under your sacrum. Now we'll add in the movement. Inhale, float your right foot up. Take the leg off to the right, down towards the floor, and then inhale, bring it right back up. Exhale, swirl the leg down and around. Inhale to the top. Pause at the top. Now spread the toes, reach up through the padding of the foot. Exhale, release. Stay here, both feet on the ground. Feet all the way down towards your hips. You might even be able to see the wave of the breath. The eyes are barely cracked open. Inhale, float your left foot up. Exhale, take it down, dip it towards the floor, and then inhale back to the top. You're abducting the leg off to the left side, comes down towards the earth, and snaps right back to the top. And hold here, spread the toes, reach up to the ball of the foot, and then send it back down to tuck the tailbone, lift away from the block, and roll it back to the floor. Hug the knees in. Uttanasana. Now, if you prefer corpse pose for Shavasana, you can just take that position. In fact, let's just all take that position. I'm going to change at the end here. So scroll out, but let your hands rest on the area below your navel, right above your hip bone. Continue to breathe into this section of your body. Allowing the breath to help to distill the mind. Know that this area is full of creativity, awaiting to be expressed. Getting in touch with the second chakra helps us to cultivate inspiration and creativity. A balanced second chakra awakens the divine feminine, can ignite passion, and sync us up with the rhythm of nature. I invite you now to hug the knees into your chest, to wrap your arms around in a warm, loving embrace, to roll to one side and to either sit on a block, bolster, or blanket when you come up. Since the second chakra, Svadhisthana, means one's own abode, one's own seat. Let's end in a seated meditation, and I want to, there's like 3 mudras actually that go along with the second chakra. And we're just gonna do the easiest one and the one that I prefer. There's like 3 different ones. So it's basically interlacing your hands and then extending your pointer fingers and placing it down in front of your pelvis. The other 2 mudras are in front of the heart. Well, actually, there's a second one in front like this, and another one is in front of the heart. But I prefer this one for this mudra. Sitting up nice and tall. This mudra is meant to help us to shed anything that locks us in or blocks our path or prohibits us from releasing what we no longer need. This mudra is about cultivating that state of trust and surrender. Letting go, letting God take the wheel. Let's sit for a moment in silence together. Imagine the orange light sitting in your pelvis. Imagine the indigo blue brow. Bring the blue down. Bring the orange up. Allow it to intermix. Kind of like a lava lamp. The orange representing the sacral center, the blue representing the divine feminine. bring your hands to prayer position at your heart. We all walk away being benefited from this practice. We build a better relationship with ourselves. But we can also provide healthy relations to others. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.